TIL that All Along the Watchtower was a Bob Dylan song. Dylan said he was so overwhelmed by the more famous Jimi Hendrix version, that he started playing it that way. After Hendrix died, Dylan said playing the song felt like a tribute to Hendrix. I thought the Cillin Samuel Enders wrote it? Yup, I'm old. Bob Marley was recognized internationally when Eric Clapton covered I Shot the Sheriff. Isn't T Most of Wagon Wheel a Dylan cover too? Or based on some partial lyrics of an unfinished song that was released or something? Till there are a significant amount of people that don't know the All Along the Watchtower is originally a Dylan song. The Hendrix version is probably more popular, but the original version is still very famous. For what it worths, Hendrix cover has 6.5 million scrobbles on Last.fm, https://last.fm, but the original version still has 2.3. There is a YouTube channel Polyphonics that did a video on what makes a great cover song. This was one of them along with Hurt and Respect. It's a really good watch. These are, all of course, based on the original piece written by Cara Thrace 6,000 years prior. Edit, 150,000 years. Where ve you been? Knocking on Heaven's Door, another Dylan song that was more popular by other artists. He wrote a lot of songs that other people got famous for. Till it was possible not to know All Along the Watchtower was written by Bob Dylan. Everyone loved Jimmy. Here's a lil story on when Jimmy first jammed with Clapton. https://youtube.b/kpjgtqwtvva. Here's Paul McCartney talking about when Hendrix went on stage playing Sgt. Pepper just days after the Beatles first released it. In attendance were Paul, Clapton, and Townsend. https://youtube.b/06ixzvia2w. Important to note that Dylan was one of Jimmy's great idols. Dylan actually told him that his version was better and it brought Jimmy to tears. This is according to Room Full of Mirrors, a Hendrix biography. Obviously wasn't there. It's also the song that was playing when I rolled an ice cream truck. If I'm in a car and it comes on, I change the station. The best songwriter of all time, his work through the 60s and early 70s was otherworldly. Same kind of thing happened with the song Hurt. Most people know it because it's a Johnny Cash song. More still don't know that it's originally a Nine Inch Nails song. After Cash put out his cover and Trent heard it, his reaction was, when Johnny Cash covers one of your songs, it's no longer your song. The song is good when Trent sings it, but it hits a whole lot different when Cash sings it. He also destroyed Like a Rolling Stone, https://youtube.b/inzamel9nwq60, at Monterey Pop. Shout out to Bob Dylan's grandma. Sometimes I read these Till posts and just feel old. I always thought this was pretty common knowledge. But then again, I'm an aging music nerd. Who didn't know this was Dylan? Fun fact, All Along the Watchtower is also the song Bob Dylan has played live the most, with 2,268 performances. For all those who want to get a bit more into Dylan, or get a fresh, female, perspective on his songs, I have a weekly radio show called Definitely Dylan, https://www.definitelydylan.com/, where I play often rare performances and talk about the themes in his lyrics. It's a good way to get into him if you don't want to start with a best of. I also started the Definitely Dylan podcast this year, and the first part of my series about the new Dylan album drops this week. I actually prefer Dylan's version, but this is one of those songs where I think each have become legendary in their own right. Bear McCreary's version is the best. Change My Mind. Original Dylan version, https://youtube.b/bt7hjea0ve. It sounds very similar to the beginning of Hurricane. Another fun fact, this was the only Hendrix song to chart in the top 40. Technically, Jimmy was a one-hit wonder and it was a cover. I had the great fortune to see Richie Havens live a few times. He loved to tell stories, and a frequent one is the first time he saw Dylan play that song, in a coffee shop in Greenwich Village. He approached him afterward and asked, "Would you mind if I start playing that song in my shows?" Dylan said, "Sure." So Havens began doing Watchtower every night. Then after one show, a kid came up and asked me if I'd mind if he started playing it. I told him it ain't mine, but feel free. Then a few months later he heard the Hendrix version on the radio and realized that's who he'd met. Real recognizes real, as they say. I think it says a lot about Dylan to take his original work, compare it to Hendrix's cover and give it to him in a sense. He could have continued to play it as intended and I wouldn't personally begrudge him for it, but choosing to basically cover his own song because he felt it was improved says a lot about Dylan as a music lover. It's the mid-90s, and I am watching the movie Twister. I hear this guitar in the background, as much in the background as Hendrix could ever be, of one of the scenes, and I have to know who it is. All Along the Watchtower was never included on the soundtrack of the movie, but it is definitely in the film. I asked around, and someone finally told me it was Hendrix. Being raised on country music, I had never heard anything like what I heard in that 4-second clip. It spawned a lifetime of guitar fascinations for me. Watchtower would be the first song I would ever download. A couple years later, I am hitting my rebellious teens. Rage Against the Machine, Public Enemy, copies of Civil Disobedience and Anarchist's Cookbook covered some of my angst needs. But I found out more about protest culture, and decided to try Dylan. First song that caught my eye: Watchtower. I was blown away, and after deep diving into Dylan, I found weed, mellowed out, and now somehow in 2020 I am approaching 40 and I feel like literally everything has been done and has happened before, and will happen again. I'm quite partial to the Dave Matthews, https://youtube.b/yam6mrccvd4, version. Op must be pretty young. Whoa. His version is awesome. I am shocked I've never heard this before. My favorite song. Jimi's guitar solo just hits right every single time. One of the greatest songs of all time. Imho. As a huge Bob Dylan fan, I'm still not totally used to the fact that many people don't know that All Along the Watchtower or Knockin' on Heaven's Door or even Adele's Make You Feel My Love were originally Bob Dylan songs, since I directly know those as Dylan songs. Great covers though. The first time Jimi met Bob, Jimi saw Dylan in public and ran up to him. When Dylan greeted Jimi, I believe he said, "So you're the guy that plays my songs better than me." Epic. I hope someone here actually knows the whole story and can elaborate. No one gonna mention the Battlestar Galactica version? https://youtube.b/j1___dinksixu. Dylan plays All Along the Watchtower. Person, is that a Hendrix cover? Dylan, yes. Person, who wrote it? Dylan, I did. Is this not common knowledge? Wait till you hear the Jerry Garcia Band cover Tangled Up in Blue. Nowhere near as good as Jimi, but damn, this is my favorite Dylan cover. My all-time favorite song. Even though I'm only 28, my old man introduced a lot of great music to me. Makes me think of my pops every time I hear it. Some people might view this as blasphemy, and I don't fully understand it myself because in general I'm not a Dave Matthews fan, but the Dave Matthews Band did an excellent version of the song in '95 at Red Rocks. It's still crazy to me because I'm a far bigger Hendrix and Dylan fan than DMB, but this version rocks. I married Isis on the 5th day of May, but I could not hold on to her very long. So I cut off my hair and I rode straight away for the wild unknown country where I could not go wrong. So say we all. Sillons intensify. TIL. Thought it was Jimi's all this time. Dave Mason put a nice spin on it too. My favorite version just because it's different. https://youtube. b/7fx04eztxlk. Some famous songs that are actually covers. Hound Dog by Elvis, original by Big Mama Thornton. Twist and Shout by the Beatles, original by Top Notes. House of the Rising Sun by the Animals, original by Tom Ashley and Gwen Foster. I Put a Spell on You by Nina Simone, original by Screamin' Jay Hawkins. Me and Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin, original by Roger Miller. You Keep Me Hangin' On by Kim Wilde, original by The Supremes. Everybody's Talkin' by Harry Nilsson, original by Fred Neil.